Hi everyone, and welcome to Topic 7, a new kid in town, JIT Kitting. So of all the topics we've talked about, I think this is probably the most, say, radical change from what I experienced in the 90s to what we experience today, related to the word kidding. Now in those days, kidding was a bad word, dirty word. Wash your mouth out with soap if you say the word kidding. And these days, we don't quite have that same attitude, but here's what's changed. Back in the 90s, when we said kit, we meant it's a preparation of a set of parts, maybe in the warehouse, some days or weeks ahead of actual need, and then those parts would be put in a container and delivered to the factory floor, and then they would be consumed sometime later if they hadn't gotten cannibalized between then and now. So that was kitting, and that understandably can get out of control. Now, JIT kitting or just-in-time kitting is a little bit different. So in just-in-time kitting, what will happen is the parts will be selected and placed into a set or a kit as before, but it happens at the same rate or tack time as the line, and that kitting process is physically co-located. I don't want to say physically connected or directly connected necessarily, but it's close enough so that we're able to move these kits either one unit at a time, which would be ideal, or in small quantities, but a very direct connection. So the delay between when you select the kits and when you deliver them is very small amount of time. So the chance of being cannibalized or getting lost or having to be stored somewhere is zero. So that's just-in-time kitting. And there are a variety of ways of doing this. But I've seen this in action beautifully at Toyota Georgetown, where they make the Camrys. Many of the sub-assemblies were being built on what used to be Kanban heavy lines, with workstations and the material in front of the operator. And all that material has been removed and put into a cell or an area near that feeder line. And one or two or maybe three people are occupied creating these little sets, and then they're delivered to the line one unit at a time. Now, why would you want to do that? Why would you want to take that extra effort? Because these are extra people. At least in the kitting area, you need more people to do that. Well, there are three basic benefits of doing this. Number one, you've got this issue of space, physical space. So as the number of components has grown over the years, and it has significantly, then many times we're just simply running out of physical space, right, to store the material. And we'd like to reduce that footprint that's required for material storage. But number two, what they discovered in companies that have done this is, number two, pretty important, operator productivity went up. Naturally, right? That just makes sense. The people that are building a product don't have to do part selection. You just give it to them. That's the surgeon kind of vision. Like in the old days, believe it or not, in an operating room, a surgeon performing an operation would have to get his or her own tools, right? Maybe they're next to him or her, but he would have to go select them. And in the new world, the surgeon would just simply extend his or her hand, and the scalpel is put right into it, right? So no searching, no hunting, no selecting. And we want to do the same thing in the factory with JIT kitting. So give the operator exactly what they need to do the work, and they don't have to spend that time that they had to spend before selecting parts. And then the third big benefit of this JIT kitting concept is quality. So if you give people a lot of parts, there's some risk of reaching out and picking the wrong one. And if you just give them exactly what you need, and it's the right thing, you give them the right part, then the risk of using the wrong part goes down significantly. So we find that quality gets better. So of course, overall, the cost of adding these additional people needs to be offset by some improvements in productivity from the operators. But remember, you have a lot more operators in most cases than you have material pickers or material handlers. So you have a lot of leverage there in terms of being able to recoup that time that you're now having to spend on kitting. So this is what they're doing. By the way, point of measurement, I asked the folks at Toyota on a tour that I took a few years ago, what was the overall benefit? And they said it was about a 5% productivity gain. Just looking at productivity, about a 5% overall productivity gain if you include the operators and the people that were doing this kitting. So that's JIT kitting. I think that covers it. But we're big fans. There's some books actually available. If you do a search on Amazon on JIT Kitting, you can find some more information on this. But we're fans of this, and we've actually worked on several projects where we've done it that way. So big difference from the 90s. We'll see you in the next topic. Next topic, we'll be talking about measuring the benefits of inventory reduction, how we do that. Okay, bye now.